Alrighty, folks, you know I'm feeling great on a Saturday morning because Chairman members cashed in on 5 different premium selections on my premium site yesterday. We had the Jazz, Flyers over in the Predators game, South Florida and college basketball, and we also hit a 2-team NBA parlay. And the only way you could have accessed all of those winners is to join my full access, all-inclusive Chairman package. Chairman members get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my Chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. Now, you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here on the free video and what I do on my premium page. Well, what I do here on the free video is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side and total. What I do on my premium site is, well, I actually share with you which one of these free plays on these videos that I actually like the best. Now, if you don't need access to every single premium selection, but maybe you could use like 2 a day, you may want to think about signing up for my extra daily pick package. It gives you 2 premium selections every single day for the next 30 days. The math works out to be just 9 cents a day. I'm currently hitting at 9-1 with a push of my last 11 extra daily picks in that package alone. And the site is patreon.com/BrockPage. And with that, folks, we're going to dive into some free content. And we're going to start off with the Browns at the Texans, 4:30 Eastern kickoff on Saturday. Cleveland's -2 on the road, totals 44.5. Now, the Browns got the W in their last 4 straight, throwing out that meaningless throwaway game in Week 18. That was against the Bengals. And when it comes to covering the point spread, well, there hasn't been many teams better. Cleveland covered the number in 7 out of their last 9 outings, once again, throwing out Week 18. And when it comes to throwing the football, well, Joe Flacco's looked really good in his return to the NFL. I know it's not a huge sample size, it's only a handful of games, but he is averaging over 323 passing yards a game, and he's thrown 13 touchdowns in just that short stretch. Of course, Amari Cooper, he's a 1,000-yard receiver for Cleveland. He caught 72 balls for 1,250 and a handful of scores, and they're facing a Houston secondary who does struggle a bit slowing down the passing game. The Texans have a bottom 10 passing defense. They're also allowing opposing quarterbacks to complete nearly 70% of their throws against them. They're actually in the bottom 3 in the AFC in that particular category. For some reason, the Texans, they come out at halftime slow. They're allowing more third-quarter points than any other team except for one. And, of course, on the offensive side of things, Houston's been very one-dimensional. They've relied on Stroud a whole lot. They've really done little to establish a proper run game. Houston's currently in the bottom 5 in yards per play on the ground. Now, injury-wise, Woods, Brown, Anderson, Grenard, Collins, Rankins, and Beck, they're all questionable for the Texans. Jerry Hughes has been scratched. Meanwhile, for Cleveland on the other side, Ford, Thornhill, Ward, Strong, they're all questionable. Tillman and Delpit are out. And I'll tell you, out of 8 contests this season away from Cleveland, the Browns saw the overcash in every one of those games. Now, Houston, on the other side, they saw overs more recently against the likes of the Jets, Bengals, and this very Browns team in Week 16. Give me Cleveland -2. Over 44.5. All right, next game, Dolphins, Chiefs, 8 o'clock East. KC's -4.5, totals 44. Now, I'll tell you, big thing with this game is weather. It's going to be extremely cold, about -7 at kickoff, wind chill of -40. That football is going to be like a rock. And I'll tell you, both teams do have areas of concern for me that make this game tough to handicap. I'll start with the Chiefs. They've had a tough time really getting anything going on the ground this year. They're in the bottom 10 in the league in yards per rush, which is surprising because Isaiah Pacheco ran very angry this year, but still, results are results. Bottom 10 in the league in yards per rush. And when it comes to covering the point spread, the Chiefs failed to cover in 4 out of their last 6. Failures to cover against the likes of the Raiders, Bills, and Packers. And I'll tell you, as good as the Dolphins have been on offense on the other side of things, it's their D who tend to allow points late. The Dolphins are in the bottom 5 in the NFL in fourth quarter points allowed. Now, total-wise, once again, lots of conflicting factors that make this one tough to pick. The Chiefs saw their last 3 straight stay under the total, 8-1 to the under this year in Arrowhead. Meanwhile, the high-powered Dolphins on the other side, they've seen overs recently against the likes of Baltimore, Tennessee, and Washington. And when Miami travels, the over cashed in 63% of those road contests. So if you want to see if I'm making a play on the over or the under in this one, the total is being featured as today's extra daily pick on my premium site. And if you want to see whether I'm making a play on the money line or against the point spread, well, this game's also being featured as one of my NFL tier package picks on my premium page as well. But as far as making a free play is concerned, no free pick for that contest. All right, let's move into Sunday. Steelers, Bills, 1 o'clock East. Buffalo's minus 9.5, totals 33 and a hook. And of course, the big factor in this one is going to be weather. I know there's a state of emergency declared near Buffalo as of right now. It was actually declared on Friday. But the game is still a go. They have not canceled the game. They're actually asking for volunteers to shovel snow. I think they're paying $20 and a hot dog in order to do that. And I'll tell you, oddly enough, I don't know what's going on in the background here. Just the screen is going nuts by itself. But anyway, oddly enough, I think this adverse weather is going to benefit the Steelers. They've been a big time of possession team on the road this year, and a lot of their focus offensively on the road has been the run game. They run a lot when they travel, and they run it well in their travels as well. So I don't think the wind and the snow should affect that run game much. As a matter of fact, it'll probably slow down these Buffalo linebackers and D linemen. And defensively, well, I'll tell you, the Steelers have been real tough to score against in their travels as well. They're in the top 3 in the AFC in defensive points per game away from home. Elandon Roberts leads the D in tackles. Looks like DeMonte KZ should be back from suspension. That'll be a great addition to that D. And, of course, they're facing a Buffalo team who failed to cover in 6 out of their last 10. And they do have a losing record against the point spread at home. And for a team who, in my opinion, has a much better roster than Pittsburgh, more talent, like I said, I think this inclement weather hurts Buffalo more than it hurts Pittsburgh. It's going to be tough for Josh Allen to throw the football. 25-mile-an-hour wind gusts could get up to 30 miles an hour. Very cold. Causes their defense, like I said, to lose a step or two. Really kind of levels the playing field a bit. And I'll tell you, this is a Buffalo offense who does tend to put it on the turf. They're a little bit sloppy. They fumbled it 17 times this year on offense alone. That's a little bit over one fumble. It's exactly one fumble a game. Now, injury-wise, Dodson, Douglas, questionable. Rapp and Davis are out. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, T.J. Watt is out with a knee. That is a huge blow to them. Trenton Thompson inactive as well. And, of course, the weather. The snow could potentially subside at kickoff time, but we're going to have a cold, frozen field. A lot of snow in the stands and on the sidelines. It's going to be very windy. Like I said, 25-mile-an-hour winds. And it's going to be about 22 degrees by kickoff. Now, total-wise, the Bills saw 7 out of their last 10 stay under the number. They're also 67% to the under in Orchard Park. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh saw 6 out of their last 8 road games stay under the line. I don't know if we're going to see many field goals or extra points in this one. You may see these teams going for 2 if they actually punch it in the end zone. Give me Pittsburgh plus 9.5, under 33 and a hook. Next contest, Packers, Cowboys, 4:30 p.m. East. Dallas is -7. Total is 51. And I do like Dallas in this spot here. These guys are a different team in Jerry World. They're perfect 8-0 in front of their own crowd. And they covered the point spread in 75% of those home games. Now, when it comes to point production, no one does it better at home than Dallas. They lead the league in home points per contest. Dak Prescott's thrown for over 4,500 yards and 36 big touchdowns. Of course, CeeDee Lamb, he's averaging over 100 yards a game for the entire year. Now, they're facing a Green Bay team who plays their worst football on the road. They've got a losing record in their travels, and I do have concerns about the lack of playoff experience at the quarterback position. But overall, I really think this Green Bay defense is in trouble here. They've got a bottom 5 rushing defense. And when it comes to takeaways, well, this Green Bay secondary has not been overly opportunistic. Green Bay's recorded just 7 interceptions on the season. Now, injury-wise, Ford and Tenuta are out. Watson, Dillon, and Alexander are questionable. When it comes to the total, Green Bay saw overs in 6 out of their last 7 ball games. 78% to the over this year in their road trips. Meanwhile, Dallas on the other side saw the over cash in 63% of their home games. Give me the Cowboys -7, over 51. All right, next contest should be a good one. I tell you, this is should be a great weekend of football. But anyway, Rams-Lions, 8 o'clock Eastern kickoff. Detroit's -3.5 at Ford Field. Total's 52. And for some reason, I don't know, maybe I'm a pessimist, but I'm not expecting a storybook run here for Detroit. I've got concerns about their defense. Their secondary is allowing more yards per completion than any other team in the NFL except for one. Very susceptible to big chunk plays and the long ball. And conversely, this Lions D ranks in the bottom 5 in the NFL in yards per play from scrimmage. Now, for some reason, the Lions tend to come out flat in the second half. And as a matter of fact, Detroit's giving up more third quarter points a game than any other franchise in the league. Definitely want to think about that one there. And unfortunately for them, the Rams are a top 10 third quarter scoring team themselves. They protect the quarterback well, and they rack up a bunch of yards and first downs. Matt Stafford's currently in the top 3 in the league in yards per completion. And as I just told you, this Detroit secondary is second to last in the league in that very same category. Not a great formula for this Detroit team. And of course, you can't forget about wide receiver Puka Nacua. He's got nearly 1,500 yards on the season for the Rams. And out of LA's last 8 ball games, they got the W in all of those except for one. And that lone defeat was a 1-score loss to the best team in the AFC. That was Baltimore. This is a team who's playing at a very high level right now, and they have been over the past couple of months. Now, injury-wise, Higbee, Fuller, Brown, and Reeder are questionable for the Rams. Meanwhile, for the Lions, Laporta and Comiskey are questionable. Jacobs, Mitchell, and Raymond are out. The Rams saw overs in 7 out of their last 9 ball games. The Lions saw overs in 7 out of their last 9 ball games. They're 75% to the over at Ford Field. Meanwhile, the Rams on the other side, they've gone 6-3 to the over in their road trips. Give me the Rams +3.5, over 52. And with that, folks, we are going to run into our next and final breakdown for the video. Going to be in that Eagles-Buccaneers game, 8 o'clock Monday night. Philadelphia's 2.5 on the road, totals 43. And as bad as Philly's played over the past, month and a half, well, I think Darius Slay said it best. Got a lot of flack for this quote, but it's probably good that the Eagles are playing on the road. The fan base is quick to go full-blown mutiny, as they are right now at the moment. And I'll tell you, the Birds have played some pretty good D on the road this year. I know their defense has been horrible, spineless over the past handful of weeks, but collectively on the road, they do play well. Of course, throwing out that Week 18 debacle against the Giants. Now, they're facing a Buccaneers team who's struggled to move the football over the past few weeks. I'll tell you, I watched that entire Bucs-Panthers game last week. Man, that was a that was not a good product by the Bucs, and that was not a good product by the NFL. Man, those guys had a tough time moving the football against Carolina. The Panthers very well could have won that game. But anyway, we're looking at a Buccaneers team who is dead last in the league in rushing. When it comes to defensive play, well, the secondary might have their hands full. The injury to A.J. Brown might not matter because the Bucs are in the bottom 5 in yards per game through the air. Bottom 5 in yards allowed per game passing. Now, injury-wise, Hayes, Wirfs, Britt, and Baker Mayfield are all questionable to suit up Monday. Meanwhile, for Philly, Sidney Brown's out. Covey and Blankenship are questionable. And once again, looks like A.J. Brown is not expected to suit up for Philly. Had a bad, kind of a rough knee injury last week. Although, I just think he's an unhappy camper in Philly at the moment. Can't imagine he's going to be a Philly lifer. This guy kind of creates problems in locker rooms. It's the reason why the Titans a couple years back got rid of him for a sack of used footballs. Now, weather-wise, could see a spotty shower or two during the game. Nothing overly significant. And, of course, the temperatures will be comfortable. Tampa saw their last 3 straight stay under the number, 6-2 to the under this year at Raymond James. Meanwhile, Philly went 7-2 to the under this year in their travels. Give me the Eagles minus 2.5, under 43. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our quick pick recap. Give me the Browns minus 2 over 44.5. I have no free pick available for you in the Dolphins-Chiefs game. Let's try that again. Let's start that quick pick recap over again because we're just going to use... stop talking, Brock. Quick pick recap. Take 2. Give me the Browns minus 2 over 44.5. I have no free pick available for you in the Dolphins-Chiefs game. Give me the Steelers plus 9.5 under 33 and a hook. I'm 9-1 with a push on my last 11 extra daily picks on my premium site. The link for my site is in my bio. Give me the Cowboys minus 7 over 51. Rams plus 3.5 over 52. With my next and final pick, give me the Eagles minus 2.5 under 43. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium site. If you do end up getting a membership here today on patreon.com/BrockPage, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. As an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. That's why I always tell folks, that Chairman package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. It gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my Chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. But most importantly, guys, gotta thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, folks, happy Saturday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page at patreon.com/BrockPage.